I don't know these little scan codes. You see them all over the place, and I just don't know what they are, what they'll do. It's that newfangled stuff. So now my wife is going to scan it and see where it goes to. Okay, I don't know how much of this stuff I'm going to be able to film. We're in Bodfish near Lake Isabella. It's like half a mile away from Lake Isabella. And this is the Silver City Ghost Town. Yep, can't see the sign because it's not near a light. And they're doing a ghost tour of the ghost town. And they have some paranormal experts from LA. And so we're going in and we're going to look for ghosts. Never done it. Think it's interesting since I'm working on a paranormal show showing the power of the spirits world and all that other weird stuff. Guess I should have something to base it off of. So we're trying it out, and yes, I'm eating licorice because I'm hungry. So,
okay, we know it's dark. We're going towards some of the rooms. You can maybe see some of these little green lights. I guess these are supposed to be able to show a ghost flying by or something. I don't know. We'll see. But we're walking, we're going up steps. I know you can't see them. Clunk, clunk.
So ghost hunter here.
All right, my name is J. Paul Corlew. I want to welcome you. You guys, appreciate you coming out on a weekday night like this. It's fantastic. Halloween is always Halloween to me, so we'll always have these, even when it's Wednesday or Thursday. We'll be having them in the midweek. We've been doing this for over 17 years now, so we've had lantern light tours. But this one is totally unique. First, let me tell you a little bit about the town. Between the years of 1968 and 1972, Dave and Arvilla Mills began hauling in historic structures from throughout the Kern River Valley to this location. Now, when I heard all the buildings were moved here, the last thing I believed was that the ghost had moved with the buildings. But my mind has changed a little bit now, because I believe some of the ghost acts that we do have, and we do have some spirits here definitely, did actually move with the buildings. And one of those is in the jail here, in the Berlando house over there, the Apolite Berlando house. Now, my family purchased it in 1988 from the Mills. They had had it closed to the public for over 17 long years. We spent 2 years, actually we bought it in 1990, we bought the first half in 88. And in 1992 we had our grand opening, and we've now had it open almost 20 years, be 20 years Memorial Weekend next year, without any government grants, without any federal loans, without anything but the support of people and that come and go to these events and come and check us out in the daytime. Has anybody been here in the daytime before?
Nope.
About half have, that's good. I always say the ghost town looks better in the daytime. I look better at night, so check me out now, and then later you check the ghost town out. Yeah, it races years out here, you know. But anyway, last night we had just an insanely active night as far as paranormal activity, and we're hoping it'll continue tonight. And we've got a little bit different program. Was anybody here for Paranormal 101 on October 15th? We got one person that was. That was Paranormal Housewives were here. What we did was, and we're going to do it again tonight, is divide you into 3 equal teams, about 6 to 7 persons each it'll be. And each team will go with a different expert in the paranormal field. And each one of you will be able to rotate between our most haunted locations, including locations that are normally not open to the public. So you have a rare opportunity. I wish there was more people here, because it's a rare opportunity to do something that's only been done one other time. So yeah, gather in your 7 or 6 or 7 groups right now if you like, because once we name you team 1, 2, or 3, you will remain that all night long. So.
I guess we're the loners. Like
now Barry from Pacific Paranormal Investigations teams, give him a big hand. And Dee's right there too. I called him up a little early just to talk a little bit about the paranormal activity we had last night. So
had a lot of activity last night.
We
a
did.
lot of flashlight play, a lot of cameras, batteries.
Batteries draining.
Everything went down. All of the laser grid went down. Everything went down.
Yeah, you see the light right down there by the outhouse on the right-hand side. You don't know that that's the outhouse probably, but you see the light that's outside that's on the right-hand side of the town there. That actually started blinking during the introduction when I was staying here talking to people last night, and we were just astounded to see that blinking on and off. How many times did we replace that flashlight last night?
4 times.
4 times with 4 different what do you call those? LED lights, right? LED like this, which are almost impossible to get to do anything but burn very brightly like this for hours. We're actually turning on and off like that for quite a long spell.
It was just doing it now. That's where I was.
Oh, it was just doing it right now. All right, well that's
so
a good
I swapped
sign.
it out from the different flashlight.
And then what happened after everybody left last night?
Nothing.
Nothing. I'm not kidding you. It died. All the activity we had pretty much just ceased, and we were just amazed. We were here for another couple of hours, and we had a guard out here all night and left the cameras running for a period of about 30 hours, I think, or more. So he's got a lot of work to do. There was how many cameras set up?
8.
8 cameras times 30 hours is how much is
240 hours.
240 hours of viewing that he's going to have to do before he can rule out anything. But we have a feeling we may have really captured something last night because it was so doggone active. There was so many cameras set up in so many areas of the place. He had EVP recorders in at least 3 buildings all night too that I know of. And it was, so we're thinking we may have really caught some groundbreaking stuff here. And many people reported being tapped last night. A lady was tapped on top of their head. Barry actually had his hand poked or something, didn't you?
My elbow.
Elbow. Other people reported similar things, their hair stroked and that sort of thing. So there was really a lot of activity. And dozens of people's flashlights and other, other devices that they had with them, including their flashlights and their... The what? There was actually, this sounds so crazy, but there was a girl that said she felt a hand on the inside of her thigh, and she was very embarrassed by that, okay? That was down in Wormy Annie's building. And she didn't say anything to anybody, but by the time she got down here, she felt it a little bit sharper right by her knee, and she reached into her, she was standing right next to me, reached into her hands and pulled out a rock about this big. Now, nobody would put that in their pants and then bring it out in public. And
it's kind of odd.
It's a pretty odd thing, a pretty amazing thing. And I told her, I said, that beats all I've ever seen. I can't. And she was just absolutely stunned by that happening. So if you get a rock in your pants, don't think that's the first time that's ever happened here. Okay. Jail. One of my favorite and least favorite places. Come on in. Everybody's going to pack in here for a minute. We've had as many as 60 people inside. So please step inside. This is where a lot of the activity has been occurring over the last few weeks, in fact. We've been doing these night tours since April. I don't know if you all are aware of that. We started on April 13th. We've been doing them every 2 weeks since then, except for Halloween weekend. Now this is known as one of the most haunted sites in Kern County, but it's quickly becoming one of the most haunted sites in America because of all the investigators that are investigating here over the years. As you can see, there's a camera right there. There's also a camera in the back, and be careful, there's wires spread from one end of the place to the other. There's another camera right behind you. You see it? Right there. So do be careful as you walk around tonight because there are cameras and there's wires everywhere. Now the jail came from old Lake Isabella, old Isabella, before the building of Lake Isabella. It was then moved and donated back in 1905. It was actually donated from Kernville to old Isabella. And then old Isabella was used for many years as their main jail. And then when the dam was completed in 1952, they moved it once again to current-day Kernville. That was called New Kernville in 1953. And it was moved from there to here. This building has actually been moved 4 separate times. That's pretty amazing. Now, over its long history, there was prisoners, hundreds and hundreds of prisoners locked up here. If they were unruly, they would tie them, or not tie them, but they would chain them actually to the rings that you see in this floor, and on the center, this floor, and the center back there. And the chains would be just long enough for them to get to the outhouses, which were in the corner in a little bucket, basically. This building originally did not have any windows. These windows were cut back in the 1960s when these buildings were moved here, so that would let more light in. But if you can imagine being locked up in here and there was no bars in that front door, so when it was closed, it was just pitch black in here. It had to be terrifying, and you know, a lot of people spent some terrifying nights, whether they were alone or whether there was some unknown criminals right next to them. So many people feel a real closeness in here. I'm personally very claustrophobic. I get that all the time in here. You can see people were quite shorter than they are today, and a lot of tall guys have to bend to go through that door right there. Now, did anybody check us out on Facebook in the last few days? Silver City Ghost Town on Facebook. Facebook.com, Silver City Ghost Town, one word. Check it out. And there are photographs posted from the last year, basically, from April of our night tours, and we've had some incredible captures by people just like you. Did you all bring your digital cameras, we hope? A lot of you? If you didn't, we'll try to take some pictures for you. So But somebody actually, 2 weeks ago, they captured a full, during the Paranormal Housewives event, they captured what appears to be a full standing apparition right under that window. And he was standing basically right where you're sitting. And there's no way that a person could be standing there because there's an iron bed there, as you can see. And then just 3 days ago, or I think it was Friday night, another gentleman captured a half-body apparition sitting right there on that bed, similar to you are, right up against the wall. I don't know if anybody saw that or not. And then about the next frame, a few seconds later, he took another picture in that corner and captured the same image or a similar entity right there. Did you see that? My late wife was in here about 1994, 1995 during a Halloween event just like this. I believe it was Halloween night, but it was Halloween week for sure. We had a 2-night event, and I think it was the final night. And she was standing right where this young lady is right here, and there was a gate right there. And there was a hole cut in the gate so she could hand out safe inspected candies like they do at Pioneer Village. Anybody from Bakersfield knows about Pioneer Village, has been doing it for many years. We did it for 3 years, that was our final year. And it was partly because of what happened that night in this building. And what happened was all of a sudden there was about 20 to 30 people similar to you in here. And Cindy was handing out safe inspected candy out of the door there. And all of a sudden the roulette wheel started spinning. Clothes started floating in the air like this. Shot glasses were being filled with no liquid, of course, ghost whiskey, I guess you could call it, and being knocked back like that very quickly. And all this happened in just a few seconds.
People have been touched in here. People take, if you have cameras, take a lot of pictures.
My brothers, they were playing around in here one year, and we have pictures of them standing on one of these walls, and there's a face of a little boy behind them with the hat on.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think they actually printed the picture out and
They posted it.
somewhere.
Yeah, a lot of things happen in here. A lot of things happen on that bed.
By the way.
A lot of things. No, I mean, people get touched. One guy decided a couple of weeks ago, he was here. He laid down on that bed, and they said that people get touched on that bed. And he said, yeah, that's bullshit. So he laid on the bed, and he was provoking it. Oh, you can't do anything to me, you can't do anything to me, and everybody left. And I was standing out front. He jumped up, he ran out. He ran all the way to the front gate. And he goes, something grabbed me around the neck. And I said, well, what were you doing? Because I grabbed him. So where are you going? And so he explained the story. He says, oh, I don't know. I was telling him that he was a coward, he was a chicken, he couldn't touch me, and nothing could hurt me, and da-da-da. I said, well, I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. That's not something we do, but I said, if you do that, something probably will happen. So, you know, you guys can ask questions. I'm going to set up the recorder. You can ask some questions, see if you get any responses. We can put a flashlight down and see if we get any flashlight plays. See if you can ask questions to find out who's here, who's not here. You may get touched. Nothing's going to happen that, from what we've seen in here, that it's not real physical. In other words, they're not going to hit you or slap you or do anything, but they will come up and they will just lightly touch you. Last night we were here. I was standing over there, everybody was gathered around, and somebody like hit my elbow. And I looked over at the person standing next to me, and they're watching the video. And I'm going, I wonder, you know, I'm looking around, nothing. And then it happened again. And I'm standing over there, so I'm not going to say anything, because as me as an investigator doing this, it sounds like I'm making up stuff. I'm not. I'm standing here and something fun. I don't get touched a lot. So when that happened, and then the lady about two rows over, somebody hit her on the head. She went like this. She goes, who hit me on the head? Don't know. Are you the little girl that's here? Or are you the man that's here?
If you're the man, can you turn the light off?
Are you here alone?
Oh my God.
Okay, turn it back on, thank you. The little girl's not here with you? Is she not here? Everybody here would like to talk to you. Thank you.
Whoa.
So would you like to converse with us? Thank you. You need to do better than that. There you go.
Thank you.
So we're watching with the video camera and the light
Most
system
important thing when
to
you're
find out if we see ghosts.
going searching is to wear soft sole shoes so that when you're walking you don't make a lot of noise. Not a lot of jewelry, things like that. Your kids come up to you if you have kids, or you know, if somebody says a story, don't discount them, because when I was a kid, I'm from back east, and we were playing night tag, hide and seek actually, and one of the kids with us, he was hiding, and all of a sudden, blood-curdling scream. And, you know, we all run over to see what's going on, and the man next door owned a big lot. Well, back east there's a lot of, you know, land, but he owned a huge lot, and we saw a white figure of a woman running through and into his basement. The man next door, he only went in the summer, it was his summer home. And, I mean, talk about, I mean, the kid was white, and I was 7 years old, my sister was older, and, you know, we were just in our backyards in the neighborhood, and, you know, parents, of course, like, oh, you didn't see it, and the next day, in the daylight, we all went next door, we hopped his fence, you know, and we went down in his basement, and we were kind of looking, and we got about 2 feet into the basement, and it just was too scary, and we came. We all came back out, oh no, we're not gonna go check that, because it was a pretty scary looking basement, not like mine, it was all fixed, but, ever since that, I've always liked scary movies, I've always liked to be frightened. I mean, I don't really get frightened now, maybe I've just never had an experience that's frightened me. I get startled, you know, if something, I mean, you know, I can walk around a corner, if somebody's standing there, I can get startled. But I find it interesting. I'm a sensitive. I've had a lot of experiences where I had premonitions of things. So it's always, and my mom was like that. My mom all my life, she had premonitions. And so it's always been second nature.
Okay, so here's some of the, they have cameras set up in different rooms.
Give me $1.
So last night we, which I'm sure you probably would have already seen per George's stuff or already heard mentioned, we went to a haunted paranormal activity ghost hunt up here in Lake Isabella and Bodfish. They're right next to each other, these little towns. And this is the hotel that we stayed at, or well, I guess motel. It has its own little like Bates Motel motif. But we actually got room number 1 right next to the office, and we'll give you a nice, if you look all the way down, few more rooms than the Bates Motel, but it's just one big long one. So it was actually, you know, it was really clean. Stayed here again. The beds actually were halfway decent. They don't offer shampoo, conditioner, you know, lotion, nothing fancy, but it was cleaner than a Motel 6, and that's a bonus. But it was a great date for me and George, and it was a lot of fun. So Isabella Motel. Ooh, ah. This is their menu, and it's just 2 slip covers and straw. That straw string that you can get. I mean, how generic can you get from the damn corner restaurant? Welcome to the original. But the food is said to be amazing. And you can get the damn corner grill, you know, I mean, look at that, they just keep on going with the whole thing. I wonder how many more damn corner thingies we can get from here.
Silver City.
Silver City.
Some people say it's haunted. So this is where we were last night. So we can see a little bit of what it looks like during the day. There's the post office. Now the jail supposedly has a lot of paranormal activity, they say. So, yeah, that's Main Street. That's where we're at. Ghost Hunt, Silver City. Sharon Osbourne thought I was silly.
Alright.
And then recently they've been airing my episode of Nitro Circus.
Okay.
Where I
I've
taught
heard of that.
I taught them how to do some stunts.
Okay.
But I tour all over the world. I just came back from performing at an amusement park for Halloween and decided this was going to be something interesting to see, so I wanted to come to Silver City Ghost Town and see if there's any ghosts lurking around.
And you think you are?
You know, I'm a skeptic.
I'm a skeptic too.
I'm a hardcore skeptic, but I'm not going to say, but I'm also one of these people who says I don't believe in voodoo, I don't believe in witchcraft and all this stuff, but I'm not going to go to a voodoo priest and cuss him out. I'm not that stupid. Just because I don't believe it doesn't mean I don't respect it. And you know, I'm very interested in some of the different things that you heard and saw in the videos and everything.
I wish you'd been here the night before because last night.
Yeah, I was told the flashlights were going nuts.
It was not just that. There was knocking. There was all kinds of stuff. So more activity then.
So I enjoyed it very much, and then I wanted to check. I wanted to be able to see some of the buildings in the day, so I was able to see kind of a look because at night and daytime was so much different.
All right, well, very cool. I want to stop this, and I want to take your picture here.
No worries.
Hold on, it's recharging. Sorry. All right, got it. Wow.
Breakfast.
All right.
Ooh, eggs.
Eggs, oh.
Okay, so we stopped for just about maybe 5 or 10 minutes just to enjoy the Kern River in this small little section, just to give me a little bit of noise of nature. When I was younger, I used to come out here if I had had a bad day, or I think one time when I broke up with a boyfriend, just came out here and just sat on a rock. Actually, one time for hours, and just enjoyed nature's at its best. Nobody else was around. It was just me, the river, and the natural sounds of nature. And that's what I'm doing now, just enjoying. Soaking in some vitamin D because I need lots of it.
Coming to the mailbox. Yeah. I got a postcard. At least I got someone. I got mail.